Welcome back to Me. I Am a Memoir, the meaning of Mariah Carey. Sorry for those of you listening in real time that there was no episode last week, but someone got COVID.
I think it was a lovid. A lovid. That's worse.
Yes, I got lovid.
It's the regular strain.
I got a regular strain of COVID, the lovid. So yeah, bad enough that my voice was already going. Then I now have been coughing for an entire week. So I've been unwell. I'm not very well this week, and I will be unwell for weeks to come. But we're going to attempt to listen to an album this week. We've taken a pause from our masterclass of how to sing things.
We've got to keep learning.
We have much more learning to go. But
have you ordered a latte?
I was going to order a latte with my voice.
With your voice. Oh my God.
No,
went on longer than I wanted it to.
Like a macchiato.
No, I said a latte.
A latte. I want to.
Awful. We've already gone to me silent laughing. It went straight from...
It's just waving. Oh, waving comedy away from me. Get away. It's awful. I don't want to touch it. This is a great podcast. You can't see it, but he's waving comedy away.
That's what Mariah would do.
Stop it. I don't want it near me.
I'm also checking if you're hitting the note.
But yes, this week we're listening to an album. We're listening to Me, I Am Mariah, the Elusive Chanteuse.
It's hard to say, isn't it, when you've been saying Me,
I Am a Memoir, meaning of Mariah Carey, featuring the Elusive Sham 2, which is us, Fab and Posh. But yeah, it's we don't have me moments when there's an album. We should jump on straight into it. Our review, our look at the album, Me, I Am Mariah, the Elusive Chanteuse.
I still can't get it right when I'm Googling even. I'm like, Me, I Am a Memoir. No, other one. All right, so Me, I Am Mariah, the Elusive Chanteuse, released May 23, 2014. It was a US number 3 and an Australian number 5. What was anyone thinking?
What were people thinking?
I don't know.
Number 3.
I still think it actually got 1 or 2 numbers like higher in Australia, or maybe the same as Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel. So this was an improvement.
Oh, wow.
And I think it was the same in the US maybe.
Oh, that's on the back of a really big single though.
With Obsessed, yeah. So what I'm saying is I think this actually did a little bit better in the charts.
The single from this.
Beautiful, yeah. So first track, Cry. Written by Mariah and Big Jim Wright, the classics. And that's... Actually, Cry.
I have no control of my voice this week, so I am not going to be able to
neither do I ever. So there's actually not a whole lot of background on this.
No? Big Jim Wright, she just goes, he gets the piano out, she has a sing and they go,
the song's done. Great. Yeah. Pretty much. So the fun thing about this one was I cracked open my vinyl for the first time. So when MC30 came out, I got the box set plus a couple of extra albums, including this one. But I thought I'm going to wait until this special moment.
Until this special moment. Can I ask you, how does the mix sound on vinyl? Because the mix on digital is not okay for this entire album.
Really? I didn't notice it too much, but I think because when it's vinyl, I don't have headphones on or anything like that. If I have headphones on, I can concentrate more on that. Whereas anytime it fills the room, whether it's a laptop, a CD, or whatever, I don't notice it so much. But what I did like about this particular song, because it's quite sparse, hearing that crinkle of the vinyl. I was like, ooh, actually really suits this intro.
That's on the album. Like, that's how.
No, but even like, I mean, they do that song, and they might actually, but there was extra.
There was extra crinkle.
It was extra crinkly.
I mean, it's a big, strong opening, this song. Like,
yeah.
And it's got echoes of
we
glitter.
love a big, strong opening.
Like, do you feel like it's got echoes of glitter? Like, it feels like...
In terms of the ballads.
Yeah, it feels like, it's a bit like Twister, you know the song Twister?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's got a bit of that to it. It's got
Listen to our glitter episode.
Yeah, it's got a bit of Reflections kind of vibe to it. Like,
okay, yeah, I can feel that.
But I love the inventive background vocals. I love her turning her vocal almost into a sample. Like, even though she probably sang each and every one individually.
Everyone.
They sound...
Because she can.
Because she can. They sound like a sample. And it feels like a classic Mariah track just with... Because she gets to a big old belt down the end.
Yeah.
And she's also singing underneath it. So it's very skilled. I love it.
I feel like it's really nice to actually open an album with kind of a bare bones track.
Yeah.
Which I don't think she's done before. I know that Charm Bracelet started with Through the Rain, but that's not bare bones. It's just a ballad.
Yeah.
But to actually be like, oh, it's just Mariah and a piano. This normally happens well in.
Yeah, way down the end.
Okay.
I mean, it does happen again well into this album. So.
But she, like, I feel like this is one of the songs, like, it's not... When I think of Mariah ballads, this isn't the one that is at the top of the heap, but I enjoy it every single time I hear it.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
I'm the same. And it's such a great opening to the album. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing, is it? Good. I'm here for it.
That's it. And just a quick reminder that I can sing the crap
I can
out
sing
of anything.
Anything.
That's something that's been coming up with like these last few albums. Like I remember the reviews always saying, "Oh, the voice isn't there," and I'm like, "But where it has absolutely been there on every." That's the person who listened to "Obsessed" and nothing else.
Oh, because it had a couple of like because they used the auto tune for a bit of
and they didn't realize it was a style choice.
Yeah, stylistic.
Like she was being funny, but look,
so obsessed with Mariah.
I feel like I'm not quite at infinity yet, but I do really like it. So I've given it a 4.75.
Oh, I'm on the cusp of infinity. Like I think it's good, but it's, I don't know. It's just, and maybe it's this whole album altogether. I just feel like, it's just a step behind where I think Mariah could be, if that makes sense.
I'm sure we'll learn more.
I like it, but it's just not. Because I feel like the belt kind of just, like, you're like, oh, you're belting now. Okay. Were you going to take a run up or are you just going to jump straight in both feet?
I'm just belting. Of course I am.
I'm belting because I can.
It's her bathroom, the ocean. She's already in there. Yeah. So she doesn't have to take a run up. She already done dived. All right, track 2, Faded. Written by Mariah, Mike Williams, and Denisa Blue Jane Andrews. This is one of the ones that I always remember the name, but I kind of struggle to remember the actual song.
Mm-hmm. I had to write down, not there for me, not there for me. And I'm like, that's not helping.
I know, I'm now playing it in the background to be like, okay, I kind of remember it. Like, there it is.
Faded is maybe it's kind of a meta title in that this song always fades from your memory.
It's like, what's that song from Music Box that was a double single with Without You? Never Forget You?
Never Forget You, the baby face.
Yeah, I always forget that song. I'm like, that's ironic.
Never forget you. I'll never let... I remember that one. This one
I think this is one of those songs that it's actually like quite enjoyable as like just, like I'm just relaxing to it in the background. But it doesn't have the strong hook. Yeah. So you don't have that instant like, oh, that song.
Yeah, that's the song where Mariah does that.
Yeah. You don't hear it and go, oh, I hate this, skip. It's just kind of like, it's not like, this song.
Cry.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm into that.
This is more just chilling. She's in the Moroccan room. She's had some purple. Yeah. She's just laying back.
It's fine. It's weird for it to be the second track because there's really nothing to it. And halfway through this song, I was like, oh God, am I going to be into another 4 songs like on the last album where I'm like, no, they're all...
See, this album is a funny one in terms of... I think it's eclecticness works both for and against it.
Yeah.
Because it really changes up.
Yeah. All of a sudden.
But then there's also times where you're like, but now I don't understand it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think, like, because the last one was really consistent, even though at times was consistently dull. But it was really consistent because it was like one producing team for the whole thing.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
whereas this is like every song has a different producer, different writer, different team.
My understanding is that half of it was written before she had them babies.
Yes.
And then took a long break and then came back.
Right.
So
and plus there were 2 singles that came out that never, or 3 singles that came out and never made it onto the album.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, one of them was a bonus track, but...
Yeah, I know. But it was on the deluxe.
And it was like, are they testing it? And then they just waited till one of them hit. And we're like, oh, that one. That's the first single, everyone.
Yeah. But yeah, it was weird. It was very strange.
And of course, there was also, and we'll get to this song, but there was The Art of Letting Go was the original title of the album, and then it leaked, and so then she's like, well, I have to change it. And yeah.
I don't understand all that. Like,
there's even a track that we'll cover about that.
Yeah.
So for this one, look, it's one that I don't go, oh my God, that's my favorite song. I can barely even remember it, but when it does come on, I'm like, oh, this is fine. I don't need to change it.
It's
so
fine.
I've gone.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
It's
faded
fine.
is fine. I've gone for a 4.
Yeah, I'm giving this a 3 because it's fine. It's not great. Like, you know, we've heard.
Do you think a regular person could sing this?
No.
Do you reckon a regular person's backing vocalist could sing this?
I think the backing vocalist might make it through the melody, but might not make it through to the end, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not like, I don't know. We've had so many spectacular songs, and I don't even think the lyrics are as great as she's written before either. Like, it feels.
That's probably a little bit of a trend on this album, but I think there's other times where the production makes it not matter.
Yep.
Whereas maybe with this one, it's like, well, with a slightly more laid back production and maybe not as hard hitting lyrics.
Yeah.
It just doesn't quite connect.
Yeah.
In the way that we're used to. Mariah.
Yeah.
Still sings the crap out of the end.
I know. She brings it home. I'll give her that.
Yeah.
That's why it's getting a 3 and not a 2.
Right. All right. Smashing into the next track, which is Dedicated feat. Nas, written by Mariah, Hit Boy, James Fauntleroy, don't know, Nas, Ghostface Killer, RZA, and of course, GZA. Not sure if that's how I pronounce it. You God, Inspector Deck, ODB, Method Man, and Raekwon. I'm thinking that this might be related to the Wu-Tang Clan sample from
sure
The Mystery of Chess Boxing. I had never said that out loud. I was like, oh, that's a fun title.
I'm like, why are you naming the Wu-Tang Clan now? Oh, because that's a sample.
Why wouldn't I? You've got to give credit, darling. Mariah makes sure. Mariah likes to make sure that everyone gets their credit.
Excellent.
Properly, because she doesn't need the money.
No, because she's just sitting on the couch somewhere going, Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Squeal, squeal. Oh, baby,
Yeah, but that was not what I meant. So, can we get the alternate violinist in? Because I'm watching that show about the jury selection. That's what I imagine is happening with Mariah and that orchestra.
Oh, my God.
So I feel like this is one that I go into it thinking I don't remember it, but then as soon as it starts, I'm like, oh no, I do remember this one. Yeah.
Yeah. I know it from... No, there's nostalgia, Mariah correcting someone.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because I wasn't born yet. You have the nostalgia for it, but I
was not born in 1988.
So... Yeah, I think that
2 years before my first number one single was not born.
Yeah. And I think the thing that this song does a little bit better than Faded is having those little hooks, the oh baby, Carey like Mariah, like all of that sort of stuff. And like the one thing that kind of, I feel like I want to like it more than I do. If that makes sense. Because I'll be like, oh, this song, Oh, yeah, I remember that bit. Oh, this bit's good.
Yeah.
But it just never quite glues itself together.
It's a collection of fun hooks with way too busy production. Like, there's
Maybe that's
so many
it.
noises happening. It's like,
Yeah.
what is that noise? And you're interrupting here. Like, are we going to let Mariah sing her song at some point? Like, at some point.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
And also, I'm so surprised that Nas got, a look in, because he did work with a regular person.
He did.
So-
but this is the thing about Mariah. She's magnanimous. She may not know your
true.
collaborators, but it doesn't mean she doesn't know you.
I was Googling the other day, does Mariah know Leah Remini?
Does Mariah know Leah Remini?
I think so. It's not 100% clear. All right, so for Dedicated, I have gone for a 4.25.
Oh, wow. You really liked it.
I like it more than Faded, which I gave a 4.
Yes.
So that's how numbers work. I'm getting this math thing.
Yeah.
I'm starting to understand it.
Yeah.
Only when associated with Mariah. So what would you give to Dedicated?
Well, I like it better than Faded, but it's still annoying. So it's getting a 4.
Okay. Interesting. Imagine if this whole album you give lower scores than me.
Maybe. It could happen.
Amazing. Next track.
Because I know you listened to this album a lot when it came out.
Well, this is what's funny. I listened to songs from it. Not so much as a whole. Like, when you just pick out, oh, that's my favourite song this week.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's going on a playlist. That kind of thing. All right, on to the next track. Beautiful feat Miguel.
Hashtag beautiful.
Hashtag. I wrote that everywhere else except for that heading. What am I doing? I'm fired? I don't know me.
Fired. I don't know you
me.
either. Hashtag beautiful.
I'm hashtag fired. So hashtag beautiful feat Miguel, written by Mariah, Miguel, Nathan Perez, Jay Davey, Mac Robinson, and Brian Keith Warfield. Was a US number 15, Australia number 6. So that was interesting. We loved this song.
We loved this at my radio station. We played this non-stop when we weren't playing Bruno Mars.
This does feel like the last hit, at least in Australia, that I can think of, which is a shame because she deserved to have many, many more. Including
I didn't listen to the radio when Caution came out, so I don't know whether anyone was GTFOing at all.
I feel like everyone loved the album.
Yes.
As a whole, but I don't remember any particular. Maybe
singles.
No got a bit of love, but that was more on the socials.
Yes.
Radio has issues with women over a certain age, which radio does obviously 11.
Yeah.
So they don't play anyone over 11.
It's gone past 11 now. Doesn't get played. We've got to watch that Tracy Ellis Ross movie.
What movie?
Where she...
I'm sure you told me.
Yeah, where she's the woman... She's like, I'm a woman over 40. No one's going to play my songs on radio. And I'm like, I want to watch this movie.
Oh, yeah, we should.
Anyway.
I feel like Mariah knows Tracy Ellis Ross. So.
Oh, they must. Well, she must, because Mariah sang the song for the theme song for her series Mixed-ish.
Oh, yeah, that song will come up at some stage. Probably in the Caution episode.
Yeah. So Mariah knows Tracy Ellis Ross because of that.
Because of that.
Yeah.
So we do have... Well, not just one video. We have a couple of videos.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh, it's time for a Poshnopsis. A Poshnopsis. It's a hashtag Poshnopsis.
All right. I haven't reread any of these, so
I love
this could
when you
be
do
interesting. All right. Mariah and Miguel ride a motorcycle having just left Brat's grandma's house.
Why would they have to Brat's grandma?
I don't know. I must have been thinking about it.
She hasn't come up for a while.
We get a shot of Mariah on the bike by herself, so I'm guessing this is a flash forward of the future after she's murdered him.
He's very pretty. I can understand not wanting to have him around.
I'm 63% convinced Mariah is actually on this bike.
63.
I know.
She's doing some good acting.
Yeah. That green screen is holding on for dear life. Mariah poses and shakes her hair. Now we're in a garage. Not that Mariah knows what that even is.
No.
Miguel is in a car and turns on the headlights, which Mariah naturally thought was her spotlight. So she dances around like a child who's attending their first ballet class and wants to show you all of their moves. Which is pure. That's exactly what's happening. She's like, oh my God, the light. Oh, I did just do my first ballet class.
There's a light on. I love it.
Mariah's spotlight is supported by 1 billion chandeliers.
Oh, yeah.
So many chandeliers in that garage.
In a barn.
Yeah. Mariah acts shocked every time Miguel doesn't say fuck because this is the clean version of the song. Like she's always like, oh, but he didn't. Mariah flashes her panties. I repeat, Mariah
What?
flashes her panties, which is her cue to finally start singing. Thank goodness.
Oh.
Mariah keeps caressing her butt, which I fear means we've actually entered the regular verse. Mariah must be there on a mission. At this
Is that
point,
what happened in Almost Home when she rubs her
yeah,
butt?
caresses, that's their language that they speak. So
I'm
it's
going
just
to the
like,
regular verse.
I'm a friend. I speak your language. Caresses butt.
Hello, regular verse.
That's like what she says when she performs for them.
Yeah.
Hello, regular
Hello,
verse. I'm so happy to
Aussies
be
and regular verse.
At this point in the video, Mariah has flashed so much panty that I've gotten that. Sorry, let me start that again. At this point in the video, Mariah has flashed so much panty that I've gotten further with her than James Packer ever did.
Oh no, you
sorry,
didn't.
Mariah
Righteous.
spins and spins and spins. Is she trying to wipe out the regular verse by trying to create a tornado? Yes, she added a squeal to help. Mariah keeps spinning and dancing even though the song ended 8 minutes ago.
Oh, I love you, Mariah. You keep spinning.
This was bonkers. But this was not the end.
This is not the end? How is
not
it?
the end.
Is there a double poshnopsis? Is it
That's
a
a
DP of poshnopsies?
quadruple. It's a quadruple.
How is there a quadruple
Because there are
poshnopsis?
4 versions of this video.
Why? Are they all...
These ones are
versions-
shorter.
Okay.
So don't worry. So
All
we've got
right.
the explicit version.
All right. Are you ready? A poshnopsis. A poshnopsis. It's an explicit fucking poshnopsis.
Fuck. Nope. All right. This is just 87 hours of Mariah dancing in the barn. Mariah's concept was the song is about being beautiful and I'm beautiful. So the song should be about me. Or the
Yeah.
video should be about me is what I should have written. All right. Now I've got a remix version that I won't make you poshnopsis because it actually was filmed and edited but has never been released.
Never been released? Please tell me all.
Probably because it was directed by Nick Cannon. So is then let's not put that one out. But now
So
we
was
have,
this towards the end of the Nick Cannon? And
I think so. I think they separated around 2015 and divorced 2016 maybe.
Yeah.
So this was 2014, so it wouldn't surprise me if things were, you know.
were
But
difficult.
we do have one more version of the video,
Okay.
which is I believe it's the Spanish version called
Spanish.
#Hermosa.
Oh, yes. I've seen this one.
Yeah.
Do you want a poshnopsis for that?
I think yeah.
A poshnopsis. A poshnopsis. Not going to say anything in Spanish because I'm not going to have cultural appropriation. Poshnopsis.
I don't think speaking another language. I don't think actually learning another language is appropriation.
No, because I would just say something that sounded vague. I would just say pinata or
Right.
something, and
Oh,
it would be
God.
rude.
That's true.
I would say sombrero, pinata, taco, enchilada, and everyone would be like, "What are you doing, Adam? That's offensive."
Yeah, cancelled. Cancelled.
So I'm not going to do that.
That's fair enough. A bird, Mariah in a studio, now a street. Miguel shows up and sings only every second line in Spanish because he could only afford half the translation. There's a boat race that Mariah is clearly winning even though she's just laying there. Mariah only sings every second line in Spanish so that Miguel doesn't feel bad, but we know she really could if she wanted to.
Yeah. I've heard her version.
Have you heard
Open
this
Arms.
version? It's like something in Spanish. Oh, how you thrill me. It's like, what? That's not Spanish. And they must be listening going, why do I only, I get half the song? I didn't get the thrill me bit though. Mariah swims in a cave because it doesn't have any overhead lighting. Towards the end, Mariah forgets to keep singing and just orders dinner in Spanish as the song fades out.
Good.
So she just starts talking over it and laughing. And I'm like, maybe she might be saying some inappropriate things as well. Or she's just ordering sushi. Don't know. No idea.
Who knows? You can order sushi in
right.
Spanish. That's fine.
So hit me with your thoughts on the hashtag beautiful.
It's great. I love beautiful. I like the dirty production. Like, I like that it sounds dirty. Like, it probably sounded extra dirty on your vinyl
Oh, yeah.
because it's already quite dirty.
But that's also because I was having sex on it.
Oh, okay. There
But,
you
you know.
One thing I do find difficult, and I didn't notice this until this re-listen, and it happens on a lot of the tracks on this album, Mariah's big, powerful vocals are way way down in the mix. And Miguel's almost whispered vocals are really up in the mix.
They've turned the wrong one all the way up.
Yeah, I know. It's like turn Billy all the way up, not all the way down. Yeah. So, yeah, I found that really strange. And I'm like, oh, that is... I remember thinking that when I was on radio. I was like, yeah, this feels like a Mariah song. But when Mariah gets to do the Mariah bit, like you can barely hear Mariah, especially because they use so much compression in radio. Like it's...
True.
They kind of jam it all down into nothing. But, yeah, it was... And, like, so hearing it again, I was like, oh, yeah, where's she gone? Like I can hear her, but not as much as I'm used to.
I want to hear her more.
Yeah. I'm used to Mariah being louder than all the other people and instruments.
Yeah,
and here
combined.
it's like, oh yeah, it's almost a Mariah song.
That was a bit of a criticism that she didn't start singing until about halfway through.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind it because it's such a good song.
Yes.
I think this has happened with other songs in life.
Yes.
And it's like, they're just a feature kind of thing.
On
Even
your
one of
own
the songs
song.
that comes up later.
Yeah.
But I think in this case, not only is it a good enough song, but also the way she comes in.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, illegal, yes, what she's singing about. I don't like Mariah running red lights.
No.
I'm just going to put that out there. But just that, Mariah's here now.
Yeah. It's almost like when she comes into When You Believe and it's like, oh, hello, here she is.
Yeah.
Here she is. We thought this was Whitney going to take this home and someone's turned up to the party.
I mean, I wouldn't compare Miguel and Whitney, but...
No, I wouldn't either.
I don't really know much about the Miguel. Do you know much about the Miguel?
No, he was popular for a little while.
Was he?
You know, yeah. He feels like an affordable Bruno Mars.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, he couldn't afford the full translation, so it's a problem. But also, I will say, like, while I don't condone running of red lights, I can't argue with the message that Mariah is beautiful.
Yeah.
You know?
Fucking
Where's
beautiful.
the lie? Fucking beautiful. As she gasps when you bleep out the words.
That she gasps and then she sings a whole song called Get the Fuck Out.
I know. How about someone does that?
I love her pretending to be, I'm so innocent. I would never have that word in my song. # beautiful.
Yeah. Fuck.
I also don't understand where the hashtag comes from. Like, it feels entirely marketing. Like
I did look this up, and there were people reviewing it saying, I hate that she's got a hashtag. It's going to be awful. Yeah. And then they listened, they're like, oh, this is actually pretty good. It must have just been marketing.
Yeah, it's weird because it's not the only song on this album that has strange punctuation.
I think she must have been listening to some Shania Mariah, who loves
some punctuation.
We've got exclamations, question marks, brackets, like dollar signs. We are going to town, often in the same song.
Yes.
So I think she might have been inspired by the only other diva that she a little bit knows.
Yeah. Vague recollections.
I kind of remember her. She was the Canadian that wasn't as bad.
Yeah. The Canadian who just couldn't take it to Aretha, so didn't bother.
Yeah. So what is your score for the hashtag beautiful?
Hashtag infinity.
Look, I've gone for a 5.
Ooh.
I'm not all the way there. Ooh. It could be because we're running red lights, and I can't condone it, Mariah.
This is one of those songs that I loved, and then, I don't think I saw the video when it came out. Like, I didn't see the video until years later. And then was like, how did I not see this video at the time? She's got fucking chandeliers for days in a fucking barn.
Yeah, and she's showing you all her moves.
Have you ever watched the making of this video?
No,
it is hilarious. There are so many moths because there's so many lights.
Oh, yeah.
There's a million moths and she's just like swamped with bugs, and it is fucking hilarious, her not dealing with the bugs.
She just had them photoshopped to be butterflies.
Just hating moths. God. And also just like it's all done really quickly because it's in slow motion. So they actually show bits of the playback happening double speed, and Mariah at regular dancing speed, and then you get to the video and she's all slowed down, and I'm like, this is amazing. I love the making of beautiful.
I'm putting this into YouTube
so please, for your viewing pleasure, please enjoy Mariah in the making of hashtag beautiful, dancing really quickly.
I'm very excited for this.
I would also love to one day see if there's any footage of the making of Almost Home, because I want to see
I'm looking
the
at
actual
right now.
regular, I don't think it exists, but the regular speed of Mariah.
Yeah, I think for me, this is a solid song. I really enjoy it every time I hear it, but it's not one that I instantly go to as Mariah Classic. Like,
Yes.
in terms of, so maybe that's why I'm not 100% there. There are songs on this album that I go back to more.
Really?
There are.
That's interesting.
Interesting. We might have some shocks
We're
coming
going to
up.
have some shocks coming up. You're going to infinitize something that I make it 3, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. All right, next track, Thirsty.
You're thirsty. Oh, that's banging. That's not thirst. How parched I am.
This is too much. Written by Mariah, Hit Boy, Blue June, and Tots. Tots has shown up.
Hey, Tots, how's it going?
So my first question for this song is this about Nick Cannon?
Oh, you're thirsty.
Yeah.
You're thirsty.
Oh, you know you're thirsty. Yeah, but it's about someone who's like thirsty for a dream, like you want to be famous. Why are you trying so hard?
Why are you trying so hard?
And I mean, I don't know. I feel like
Pick a
there's
job.
just someone who just,
Pick a
does a lot of
job
jobs.
and a wife.
And a baby mama. Just pick one child.
one
like,
of
or
each.
one set of twins. Because I know this is before the filing of the divorce, but the lyrics are just a little interesting.
Oh, you host TV shows now, do you? I thought you were a comedian. Oh, I thought you were a rapper. I thought you
I
were a
didn't.
DJ. Okay, you do what you do. You do you.
I didn't know you were a rapper because I know rappers. And
Yeah, I know rappers.
I haven't heard you.
And you have not
I even
turned
know
up in
rappers who don't rap.
conversation. I sampled the Wu-Tang. Hi.
Yeah,
ODB was on my
Giza
single,
and Rizzo.
remember? Hi.
Yeah, real rappers.
Yeah, actual rappers, not regular rappers.
So this is interesting in that I don't think we've ever heard anything like this
No.
from Mariah
No.
at all. And there was a mention of around this time, apparently there was a few songs very popular at the time that was sort of we're at the strip club kind of vibes. And when interviewed, Mariah was like, oh, don't worry, I've got that covered.
Yeah.
I've got some thirsty. But of course, because it's me, the song has meaning.
Yes, it has meaning. When this album came out, this was my go-to song. I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
This is in the zeitgeist. This is of the time. And now I'm like, this sounds so much like Fergie. I can't deal with it.
Oh, no, I hadn't thought about Fergie for a delicious definition.
You're thirsty. You're thirsty. It's got a
just remember
Fergie
this-
vibe.
At the concert, that part went on for like an hour and a half because Mariah was walking through the crowd. And it took a while. You know, she had to shuffle with her heels and not let anyone touch her. Yeah. Like, honestly, it went for an hour and a half and then she sang the song.
Yeah. Like, it's a fun song. I just think it's insubstantial.
Yeah.
Now.
Which, to be honest, that's kind of what I like it. Like,
Lyrically, I enjoy it. Lyrically,
Yeah, sure.
I like it as much as anything from Impossible Angel.
Angels I Forget? What? Imperfect Angel? I'm so
Imperfect
confused.
Angel.
Impossible Princess.
Impossible Princess. I know. Where did I
It's
told you,
lovid.
I've had COVID.
Lovid brain.
I've got I'm very lovid. But yeah, it feels like lyrically it's as, in fact, it feels like it could almost have been written for that album and held over.
Possibly.
Because it's got that kind of sharpness to it, but it's production-wise, it just feels like it's trying too hard to be a song that's in the charts at the time.
Yeah, which is weird because I don't think it was released.
No,
but
it
does
wasn't.
seem like something that should have been.
Felt like it should have been released.
But I think what the appeal to me is that it's so un-Mariah.
Yeah.
Where it's that thing of like, even if it doesn't sort of, I don't worry so much about if it holds up in that, because I know I agree with you in terms of that. But I just go, I love that she did something like this.
Yeah.
Like,
I love
she's
that she had a
I'm going
crack
to do
at
it.
But it just now that we're doing her entire oeuvre,
Sure.
it feels a little out of place. And if she did more songs like this, I'd be like, oh, cool, that's her new thing that she's doing. But it's like, I know I put my toe in that water and I didn't like it.
See, I think too much of this I wouldn't like.
No.
I think one song I'm happy with it. So I gave this a high score. I gave this a 5.
Oh, really?
I know. I think it's just because I know what it is. As soon as you say thirsty, I know what the song is.
You're thirsty.
And I appreciate that she was having fun with it.
Yeah.
But there's still some kind of meaning to it. So I think that's why it stands out for me.
Oh, well, yeah, I go for 4.
Yeah, I mean, that's still a reasonable. This was never going to be like the Queen of Infinity.
No.
And we're okay with that.
We're fine with that.
It's allowed maybe to like look at infinity.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like I can see it over there.
It doesn't live in the same suburb, but it might be in the same street.
Yeah, it probably goes back like on the train. It goes past it.
Yeah.
But not through it.
Yeah.
It doesn't go through it. It's just pass around. Because Dan Andrews got that, that sorted. Got rid of those level crossings.
I love how this goes very Melbourne all of a sudden.
I know. Well, the fans...
We've never had level crossings in Sydney. We don't know what they are.
Right. The fans like Melbourne inner city suburb chat.
Yeah, they do.
All right, on to the next track. Make It Look Good, written by Mariah, JD, Brian Michael Cox, Bunny Siegler, and Alan Felder, who are the writers of Let Me Make Love to You. Oh. My goodness, which is interpolated into this track. And I'm listening to it in the background because I don't remember it. But we do have... Is this the song with the Stevie Wonder harmonica?
Stevie Wonder says Mariah at the start, into the harmonica, right at the start.
That's right.
And then he laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound anything like that, but okay. So this got a mention in the book, which makes me laugh.
Yeah, it did. Well, it's Stevie Wonder. Why wouldn't you mention it?
Stevie Wonder gets a mention. She's one of the few good men.
Yeah.
There's not many good men. So how do you feel about Make It Look Good?
Like, I love Stevie Wonder. Like talking into the harmonica. Some of my favourite songs on various different albums have a little touch of Stevie playing the harmonica. There's a great version of Fish Gotta Swim, Birds Gotta Fly. You know that song?
Feeling Good?
Can't Help Loving That Man. You know that one. Anyway.
I'm thinking of Birds Flying High. You know how I feel. That's what I'm thinking of.
Fish gotta swim. Anyway, I think it's Barbara Streisand does it on an album with Stevie doing like epic runs on the harmonica. Okay. But yeah, I love the harmonica and I love Mariah's vocals dovetailing with the harmonica. But that is the most interesting thing about this song.
This does have a little bit of the Faded and Dedicateds about it.
Yeah, it's
where
like,
I kind of go, I know I've heard it.
Yeah, I've heard it a lot.
And that intro is memorable.
I'm a Mariah album purist where I will just listen to all of them, the whole thing, all the way through. I don't pick and choose. I just go through them all. Which is why some albums I'm not overly fond with because I'm like, I can't go through those songs again.
I've had enough. Help. I think the thing with this one, the most interesting thing happens at the beginning, and then it just is a song.
And at the end, like the end when the harmonica really takes off and Mariah takes off,
like squeals. There's
some beautiful moments, but I feel like the whole is not enough. Like it doesn't have enough scaffolding to hold up that big heavy roof.
And again, there's no hook.
Yeah,
there's not really.
Again, I think this is a victim to the too many cooks, not enough broth of this album.
Yeah, possibly.
Because Mariah and JD, normally they make magic together, and this is, and it's got Stevie Wonder. It should be incredible. But it's like when she worked with Carole King, you're like, okay, sometimes these things shouldn't work. Maybe that's not okay.
Yeah. And I mean, Brian Michael Cox is also quite a prolific writer with her. Yeah. But it just didn't, look, I went for a 4.25. I liked it as much as Dedicated. I think it's that little bit better than Faded, but maybe not as memorable as Dedicated. How are you feeling?
Yeah, look, I think it's better than Faded. I think it's on a par with Dedicated. It's not as overproduced. I'll give it that much. So, I mean, maybe 4.5.
Yeah. And I feel like, when you hear a harmonica, you're getting into that's what Friends are for territory. And you're like, yes, this is going to be epic.
Well, that was like, also Stevie Wonder.
Exactly. One of my favourite Stevie Wonder songs is actually with Babyface. I can't think. Is it How Come How Long? I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
because that was in the charts when I was growing up. So I remember that one.
No, I went
moment.
through a huge let's get into Stevie Wonder's entire back catalogue phase.
I'll need to.
Mainly through watching Poetic Justice with Tupac and Janet Jackson.
Oh my God. I thought you were going to say Calmistician by Alicia Keys.
That is also great. But I already loved Superstition. No, I went to see that at the cinema and she plays I Never Dreamed You'd Leave in Summer because someone's been shot and killed and she's sad about it. And I was like, fuck, this song is amazing. So I went and got any album I could find that had that on it and then just went, all of this. So yeah, I went into a deep, must own all Stevie Wonder songs hole. And they're all amazing. Like he's so incredible. You've got to go and dig into the Stevie Wonder.
Okay. I will.
Go on.
All right, but speaking of digging in, we're digging into the next track, You're Mine, bracket, Eternal, close bracket, which I put as a first listen for me because I don't know if I remember this song.
It was a single.
Apparently, because we have a video. So it was written by Mariah and Darkchild, but yes, we do have a video if we'd like to just jump into it.
Oh, Poshnopsis. A Poshnopsis. It's You're Mine in brackets, Eternal Poshnopsis.
Mariah swims in a gown. It's not clear if she's a mermaid, but I've decided that she is.
Yeah.
Mariah seems glittery but sad. Thankfully, a buff man has his photo taken, and that helps make everything better. The studio shots make absolutely no sense, but neither does Mariah being stranded, though she does appear to have her wind machine, which does make sense.
Yes.
Mariah has had enough of wearing tops and unleashes her breasts upon an unsuspecting chair. Mariah has butterfly wings on her back, which checks out. Mariah sings passionately while having an argument with her hair, and that guy from before has a nap. Thankfully, we do have a remix video as well, which may help make sense.
Okay, remix. A remix, Poshnopsis. That's it.
I like it. It's like a flash.
Well, sometimes the remixes take so long, you need to have a really brief intro. Yeah.
It's like with, a very special episode of a show where it's like, this one goes too long. We can't have the full credits.
Yes.
So we're just going to have the short credits.
Yeah.
Okay. The guy from the studio gets a verse, but we must still be in the regular verse because he's had to use auto-tune. Maybe Mariah has escaped to an island because the world has been regularized. That would make sense. And she hopes that unleashing her breasts will help rebalance the regular verse's propensity for big butts.
How did the regular verse get into this?
Because that's where she must be.
I get it.
Like, why else would you be stranded on an island? Right? I'm watching in double time and really don't care about his verse. Thankfully, Mariah's breasts are back to squeal some high notes of their own. That didn't make any more sense.
I don't think I've ever heard this remix. This is my blind
It's just the same
spot.
song with the guy who didn't get a verse.
Who is that guy?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it told me. It probably did.
It probably did.
Yeah, I'm very tired and busy. A busy working mum. So yeah, as I said, if I've heard this song, I have no recollection of it.
Yeah, it's
like,
that kind of a song.
I'm like, I don't remember this. It's what I wrote about it was it's just a little bit middling. Like I liked the second verse, and from then on it does seem to come together a little bit better. Yeah. But it's just a little bit forgetful.
Yeah.
And I will say I'm very surprised that this was a single up against some of the more radio-friendly tracks.
I know. With Trey Songz, that's who it was.
Oh, yeah, that sounds right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Rodney Jerkins, Darkchild, has done a lot of great stuff.
Yeah,
like,
Darkchild's
a
great.
lot of great stuff. Even for way back with Whitney.
What did he write with Whitney?
I think did he produce? I can't remember. It was like one of her later albums.
Okay.
But, like he works with Brandy, I think, a bit.
Yeah, I mean, he did Holler with the Spice Girls. We're all about Darkchild. He did, which is funny because I think he also did There You Go with Pink and No Scrubs with TLC, and they all have the same intro. Yeah. And so every time any of them come on, I sing the 3 different intros because they happen at different times, so it works.
But yeah, look, you know what? If this was on another Mariah album, this would have been one of those album tracks you go, oh, this also should have been a single. alongside all the other hits. Like
So many hits.
So many hits.
Lined up with the shirts.
On this album, it's like, oh, this is a single? Like,
Yeah.
it's, you know what this song is? It's a huge closing note in search of a melody. Because it's got a big fucking finale. Like, this song ends spectacularly. And it's like, oh, that's enough. That can carry a whole song. It's like, it can't.
Yeah.
It's like the end of the song has been transposed from We Belong Together, and they've just forgot to put We Belong Together.
Interlude.
They
forgot.
They forgot.
Remember that song? It was an interlude. I think it's the whole song. Well, it goes for 3.5 minutes. So it must be a song.
Yeah.
We'll put that on there.
Yeah. It just, yeah. I don't get why you would release this.
Especially in comparison to a couple of songs coming up that just have a much punchier kind of attitude to them.
Yeah.
And
I think
much more radio friendly.
But I think this was the thing. Mariah was in a weird space with the record label. Like, there'd been a lot of weird choices for what was being released, what wasn't. So I don't know who was talking to who, what was going on. But yeah, this is, for a single, this is strange. But, you know, if this was just an album track, I'd be like, oh, I love that one.
Yeah,
that's
I know what you mean.
Like,
yeah.
This could be like, you know, like one of my favorite Mariah songs ever is a fucking B-side to Dream Lover.
Which one was it? Which one was it again? I know we've listened to the rarities, but...
When You Think of Me, is that it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is a great song. And this would have been one of those. On one of those albums.
Yeah, it's almost that the single status makes you question it.
Yeah.
Whereas if it wasn't, you probably wouldn't. You'd be like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Oh, no, it'd be more than, like, you know what? It's a decent Mariah song. Mm-hmm. You know what? If this was on Emancipation, you'd be like, there's just too many good songs. Like this one included.
I mean, they could have, I would happily have them replace that Sprung
that
bonus
wasn't
track
actually on there.
With this.
That wasn't really
it would have been a nice bonus track.
That wasn't even on the bonus version.
Scarred.
You just put Sprung on there because it was like
No,
that
it was on the bonus version.
No, it turned up in 2022. It turned up in... Yeah, it was from the Japanese album or something. It only made it onto the bonus version in, like, when they put everything from all around the world.
Okay.
It was never on even the deluxe back in the day. Like, it only turned up on the digital deluxe version from 2022.
Well, it hurts,
the MC30 version.
Well, this should have turned up instead.
Yeah, this would have been great. But yeah, it just feels weird being a single from this album.
I feel like now, like we've talked about it, I feel a little bit more positive towards it. Like, you know, like, because I'd gone for a 4 around Faded, but I'm like, oh, maybe it's a bit better than Faded.
Oh, it's better than Faded.
We'll see. I'll have to have another listen outside of this and make a final decision.
Yeah, for me, it's 4.5.
Yeah.
It's, you know, like, and 3.5 of those points are for that final note.
I need to listen to hear it now. Yeah. She does like to squeal it.
She just belts it. Like, she just gets home and she's like, yeah, I know how to do this bit.
All right, and on to the last track of the first vinyl disc.
Oh, we're doing vinyl discs. I'm excited.
Well, just because that's what I listened to it on. And I mean, I could be wrong anyway. I'll check it later and be like, no, that's not even it. You Don't Know What to Do, feat Wale, written by Mariah, JD, Brian Michael Cox, Wale, Patrick Adams, and Terry Gonzalez, containing an interpolation of I'm Caught Up in a One-Night Love Affair, written by Patrick Adams and Terry Gonzalez. Before we jump into this, we've already got some controversy around this, which was the single's artwork. So the artwork for this single, apparently this was a single, which I was like, but then why wasn't it everywhere? I don't understand. Why didn't it have a video? Why am I not Poshnopsising?
Yeah, why?
What is going on?
If it was a single.
I think it was one of those things, we'll kind of half put out a single. So the single artwork was a cropped version of the album cover.
Right.
But someone, don't know who, had photoshopped Mariah to be looking forward. So it was like they're taking her head from a different picture. Oh. And they put it on. They're like, she's looking at you. And apparently it was criticised quite heavily, people saying that she's airbrushing and recycling images of herself, which I can't, like, how dare they suggest? So Mariah has since stated that she had nothing to do with the selection of the single's artwork, which I feel is weird because I feel like Mariah should have input to that.
I think that was part of the leaving of this particular record label.
So
there was a lot of that stuff going on. Like there was some fury over the release of a song around the time of this album that they put up the wrong version. It was released on Facebook.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll get to that in the next episode.
So Mariah asked fans to send in their artwork designs as alternatives, saying, because at this point, I don't know what to do.
Oh, poor Mariah. The corporate morgue is still awful to her.
All right, so what do you feel about you don't know what to do?
Look, Mariah, I love Mariah doing 70s and 80s disco bitches. Like, it's my favourite. One of my favourite things in the world is Mariah and Patti LaBelle having a go at,
Mariah.
Got to Be Real. Mariah, Patti! What's your fine? So this is Mariah doing Jocelyn Brown, which heaven. Absolutely heaven.
I need to look into Jocelyn Brown.
Like the intro is pretty much the intro of Somebody Else's Guy. The Jocelyn Brown song's kind of transposed a little bit, but it's very, because the song Somebody Else's Guy? Somebody
Not
else's
off the top of my head.
Guy.
No.
Anyway, the intro is very reminiscent. I'm mad for that. This is like another song that feels like it's escaped from the Glitter soundtrack. Like it feels like it could just live there. Like it is very 80s disco. Like I kind of love it. You know what else I really love is the rawness of her voice at the end. Like she doesn't you don't really get that kind of rawness from her. It's always so crisp and clear, and there's kind of like she's straining at the edge of her vocal cords, and it's just, I kind of love how, like, it's kind of surprising.
Annoyed,
yeah.
They just don't know what they're doing.
No, but it's just, there's a lot in this song that I was surprised by and delighted by. And I don't think I enjoyed this as much the first time I heard it. Like,
really?
Because I think it was like, because you hear the start, and I'm like, oh, she's going to do Somebody Else's Guy. And it's like, oh, she's not singing that song. She's not even riffing on that song.
This is a different song.
I think Jocelyn Brown did sing with the band that the song is sampled. Like, I think she sang that song that they've sampled.
Sure.
But, so yeah, I can see where she's coming from. But yeah, I like it way more now than I did when I first listened to this album.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So I agree. Like, this intro is maybe one of my favourite Mariah intros ever.
Yeah.
Because it's so freaking dramatic.
It is. Which is very Jocelyn Brown.
Over the top. And it's got attitude. And then I love that we go from that into a feature.
Yeah.
And it just ramps up.
Yeah.
And then she comes in with a fairly iconic line being, I miss you almost half as much as you miss me. Like,
so Mariah.
And when I did not know that
her sense of humor is creeping into her music now. It's great.
And when it works like this, where the beat supports the melody, the lyrics work, it just feels like, it's all kind of cooking with gas.
It feels weird to be so far down the album.
Yeah. Why was this not a hit? It was a single, apparently.
I know.
This should, like, if this followed up Beautiful, yes.
Yeah.
Like, even if she'd done hashtag you don't know what to do.
Yeah, she should have. Yeah, it should have been you don't know what to do.
Yeah. But I also agree, this to me is so Glitter. Like, it speaks to me of all my favourite parts of Glitter, which is that disco thing that she hasn't maybe been, like, she's been a bit scared off of doing since then. And now she's like, I'm just going to do it. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Have fun with it. You don't know what to do. So
I'll
do it.
It's fun. And again, it's because this album feels so disjointed and it's too eclectic. I wish it was on a different album. Like I said, if You're Mine Eternal was on a different album, I'd be like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I do love it though. It's so much fun. It just feels like it's on the wrong album.
So what score would you give this?
This one is
1 to infinity.
On the cusp of infinity.
We're in line. We've got the passport out, but we've not. But it's not been checked yet.
We haven't gone through customs yet.
So
maybe we're through customs. We're waiting for our baggage.
Right.
As if we wait for baggage, we get someone else to do that.
Wow. The good news is I've just spotted that person and I'm going to do something I've not done for a little while. I'm going to infinity.
You're infiniting.
I'm infinitizing.
You infinitized and I didn't. What is going on? What world are we in?
This is such a good song. I love it so much.
It is such a good song.
And I don't think I've infinitized for a couple of albums. Like, I've had good scores.
You haven't infinitized for ages. I don't think you've infinitized since Emmett's. Oh, no,
Maybe
I think you
not.
infinitized a bunch on A equals MC squared.
Later, though. I don't think I did when I first listened.
Yeah, I think you re-infinitized.
Yeah. There's definitely been some fives.
Yeah.
Like, there's been some songs I really like and songs that have grown on me since. Like, I'd probably infinitize... I've got to forget the name. I was listening to it today. Track 5 off of E equals MC squared.
Love Story.
Yes. No. The one about Tommy...
Oh, Side Effects.
I probably,
Oh, yeah.
And I can't tell you how much I love For the Record.
I know you love For the Record.
I keep finding new things to love, like about them other regularities. They can't compete with MC.
I know. It's...
But also how she wrote about him underneath the stars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of, and I'm so surprised now even more that you didn't like it as much.
It's,
The more I listen to it, I'm like, how is this not? It's calling back. It's a whole chapter in the book.
Yeah, because I hadn't read the book yet.
No, but what I mean is you always infinitize the chapters that reference Mariah songs. This does that.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm always surprised. It's the other one's Melt Away. I'm just horrified. But yeah, so it feels nice to hear Infinity, which is interesting because, like you said, like this album's a bit everywhere.
Yeah.
So while I would argue that some of like the last couple of albums have been more cohesive,
Yes.
but I've maybe not loved something as much as I've loved this.
Yeah.
In terms of this song.
It's so much fun. I have a song coming up on the next disc that I have a similar affinity for that I absolutely adore in a way that, again, I didn't used to, but I do now.
Okay. I'm excited. And I'm excited that we can finish up this first half of the episode, or the first week of the episode, on a high. We're in infinity. We've made it to infinity.
We made
now
it
next
to
week,
infinity. A Poshfinity, which is
Poshfinity,
the rarest kind of infinity.
Yes.
So I hand those things out like they're fucking lollies.
That's true. I'm going to have such an easy time of making my Mariah Ultimate album.
You are. Because there's going to be 6 songs on it.
Yeah. And you will have 6,000.
Yeah.
And they're all remixes. And it will go until the end of time. Oh, my God.
Oh, well, that means we are almost home. Next week, next Mariah Monday, we will continue listening to the rest of me. I am Mariah, the Elusive Chanteuse. Is that how you say it properly? Chanteuse.
Yeah, the Chanteuses. With that lady from that show.
Well, and that other lady from that other show. Yeah. So, yes, join us next Mariah Monday for more Me, I Am Mariah. Here at Me, I Am a Memoir.
That's that.
Yeah. Bye, Emily.
Bye.